What's good, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Blood, Sweat, and Tears podcast. I'm your host, Jared Wilson. Shout out to Codus1K28. You just heard his song there. It's my intro. He's been doing that for me from day one. Shout out to him. And today we have a special guest. He's the Bellator Bantamweight World Champion. We got Raufeon Stots. Thank you for your time, Raufeon. How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for your time again. And hey, third time's a charm, like we said. So I appreciate all the effort to get this interview done.
Hell yeah, man. We went through internet troubles, babies crying, all type of stuff, you know.
So like I said, 3 weeks removed from that title fight in Hawaii. And now you're the bantamweight champion of the world. Now that that's settled in, how does that feel, man?
Man, it feels great, you know. It feels like a kind of a weight off of my shoulders, because I was able to do it. I was able to capture the goal. I was able to, show up in the big moment. But it also feels like kind of like the work's not done yet, because I'm still in the tournament. I still got to defend, so like in a way it's like kind of a journey, a different journey kind of, or new goals kind of just started. So I got to, work on accomplishing them, but it's definitely a nice, time to like breathe and kind of appreciate the accolades I have. But yeah, got to get back to work.
For sure. And I think that's the crazy thing with the whole tournament situation. It's like, yeah, you won the belt, but like you said, the job's not done yet. This is just the beginning of all the goals. Because obviously $1 million, that's a life-changing experience, so.
Exactly. And that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for me, to be honest, is to be the Grand Prix champion. That was one of the reasons I signed with Bellator. And I feel like a Grand Prix champion comes along every once in a while, and I got to take advantage of this opportunity. And yeah, it's a life-changing opportunity.
So I feel like you're the type of guy that's obviously training year round. So now that the fight ended, you settled in, you like whatever injuries you had from the fight, probably not too much because you just got laid and prayed for a little bit before. But where are you training now then? Are you back in Texas? What's your plans now for your camps? Obviously with like the whole Pettis situation, et cetera. Like, so where are you at training now?
So now I'm training back in Houston. I've been in Houston since like August. Kind of pretty much during the Magomed fight that I had before. I was kind of stationed, or we had moved back to Houston at that time. And so I'll train here pretty much kind of year round. And then this is kind of where I'll just I'll live. And then when I have camps, as of now, and I haven't got the kinks kind of figured out, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do 2 weeks, maybe in Vegas, maybe a week or two in at Rufus Sport, and then I'll do it kind of like 2 weeks out at camp, a week back home, 2 weeks out at camp, then a week back home. But again, I haven't figured out kind of the logistics of it or how I'm gonna do it. But so I'm here training. We just got done training today, or we had sparring tonight at Team Metro here in Houston. So yeah.
Obviously super busy schedule for you, sounds like, coming up. But right now, then obviously you're trading with Adrian Yanez, so that's like obviously a nice up and comer in the UFC. And what's your thoughts on him? And then even just everything that's going on with him that we talked about earlier, like the whole Tony Kelly situation. And yeah.
Adrian Yanez is, I feel like he's like just like a good teammate, good person. You know what I'm saying? Great father, amazing athlete, amazing, boxer, stand-up guy, mixed martial artist in general, so it's amazing, me being able to work with him and just like kind of bounce ideas off of each other and kind of make each other better. I'm just offering kind of what I can offer in the wrestling department, as well as any other, if I see holes, or same thing with him with his striking, and if he see holes, and he's just a super nice guy. So it's amazing to work with him. As far as that Tony Kelly situation, I feel like that he just made like a dumb decision. I feel like even to say some stuff like that, like in the corner, regardless if he feels that way or not, whereas for me, it's like hard for me not to feel that he feels that way, because even after we talked about he said the dirty Brazilians are cheats. After he said that, he freaking said, he was like, yeah, there's no racial connotations behind it, but you literally classified a group of people. We actually talked about it tonight. I guess Brazil is not a race, but you classify a group of people.
Country, yeah.
So it's bigotry, you know. You classified a big classified a group of people as a dirty cheats, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's just not a good look, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like it's crazy. I mean, the Brazilians, like I said, are probably like the second most passionate fan, or probably top two, maybe it could be even one top 2 3 passionate fans. So to come at them is like almost like MMA suicide for that
For real though.
part of the world, you know. On Adrian's side, I feel like the Brazilians are behind him 100%. He's got millions, or not millions, but he's got a bunch of freaking Portuguese and like Portuguese messages, English messages too, but of Brazilians just saying like, hey, we with you, Poha, you know, just, you know, a bunch of support from those guys.
I can literally only imagine, because like I said, I saw Gilbert Burns. He was one of the first Brazilian fighters that just shouted up, and he was just like, yo, like, I got a bag for you if you knock this guy out, you know. And then Gilbert Burns is so popular that he's gonna obviously create his own little buzz just for that. And then, like you said, Yanez is just a stud coming up. He's like making a name for himself. So he's got his own fans.
A stud, man. He's a stud. I feel like his ceiling is so high, you know what I mean? He's really good, really intelligent fighter. Obviously, you know, an amazing mixed martial artist, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to work with him.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Yanez got like that O'Malley fight. Like I was hoping he got the O'Malley fight.
Man, me too though. We thought it was gonna happen, but I feel like O'Malley kind of like backed out of the situation. Like I feel like he came at Yanez hard, and then Yanez was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm down to fight, you know. And he didn't really like push for it, you know. So
yeah, he's looking for the guys above him, you know what I mean? Even now, I saw an interview last week. He was like, oh yeah, Cheeto's good for a rematch now. I'll give him a rematch
now.
It's like, bro, he's top 5 in the world, of course. Like,
yeah, of course you'll fight him. Try to steal his spot. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So fighting's funny like that. Then, so like you said, then so you're gonna split time between your camp with that Rufus Sport, and then still in Vegas too. What's it been like training again? Like I said, I talked to you in Hawaii before. You said like before you went to Hawaii, you thought Eric was like a big brother, and then you got to know him, and he's a real one, you know. So like, what's it like been actually training at Vegas, getting to know him before and after that?
So yeah, like I said before, I thought he was just like a meathead, just like looking at him from afar. But yeah, getting to know him was, you know, the total opposite. I feel like he's very intellectual. He really thinks about, you know, the routes in MMA, and he was able to add a lot of stuff to my game. I feel like just like concepts and things that I really could use, you know, I could apply right away. And then also, you know, I feel like he's a really good person. Kind of his background, you know, I didn't know, you know, some stuff about him, kind of like how he grew up, you know, which kind of like built some camaraderie with him, you know.
For sure.
And I like him a lot. Like his demeanor, you know what I mean, and how he like approach like how he approached you. Like one day he what was it? It was a stint where I had I came late, maybe 2 days in a row. I came late, and then the second day I kind of forgot my mouthpiece, so I used a paper mouthpiece to like spar or whatever, and he chewed me out. He chewed me out or whatever, and was like, yeah, no, you gonna be a champion. This, you know what I'm saying, everything you do got to be champion. Like everything you do is on the champions, you know what I mean. He's like, you ain't these other guys. Like you gotta fucking you know, just holding me to a higher standard.
Made you accountable, made you accountable, and made you feel like it. That's
exactly held me accountable, which I love, you know, or I appreciate, I should say. And I feel like he was like, he hit my manager and was like, hey man, I kind of went in or Raufeon. So I feel like my manager called me. Brian called me, was like, hey man, you all right? Like you and Eric all right? And I was like, yeah, man, you just chewed me out, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, but that was like the type of stuff that was like I appreciate him, you know. He's like looking out for me, looking out for my well-being. And sometimes you got to tell people hard things, you know, and yeah, he was good in that way. And he's super uplifting too, you know. So it was a good mix.
I was super curious just for the fact like Extreme Couture, like when I became a fight fan back in the day, like the Randy Couture days, etc. And then all the Forrest Griffin, all the guys I went through there, it was popping off back in the day. Then it had a kind of like a cold spell for in the fighting world. And then once Eric became the full GM and head coach, it turned that gym around. And the XC, they had some of the best athletes in there every single day. You know what I mean? I know you've been in there the last couple of months on and off, so it's like you got to see it firsthand. But I think lately they get some of the best fighters coming through there every day, especially at the UFC PI right there. It's like, and then because Eric has such a renowned name now, you got everyone want to tap in. You know, like look at the
and that was a cool thing too, because it was like it was a bunch of people that I was able to train with that I didn't expect to be there. You know, I kind of came there to work with Eric because we had talked on the phone, but then you know Cody Garbrandt was there, and what's his name, Lance Palmer, you know, and Gustavo Lopez, JP. I don't know his last name. His name is JP Wrestling on IG, but very
JP Bias or whatever.
JP Buys, JP Buys. You know, it was just like all good all the way around. With a lot of people that you know, some had like kind of styles close to Juan Archuleta. Some of them were like kind of heavy wrestlers that would like come at me, and you know, that was like good for me to like have like so many like looks and high level looks. You know,
for sure.
People that are like successful in MMA and successful and good at things. So yeah, that was super cool. And yeah, and Eric, you know, his leadership, you know, I feel like really carries that team, you know, because they have like a lot of people coming out from, you know, or coming from different places and stuff, but he's able to like corral and like push people to like be better, and yeah, he's got like a cool way about him. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, Extreme Couture is, I mean, they're doing big things. I love the training like while I was there. Eddie Barral,
he's dope too. Avery Brocco,
he was dope.
He's dope, yeah.
Yeah, he was super dope. I met Jason Manley, I think his name was. But yeah, all the coaches there were like super cool, man. Super. I mean, they ran hard practices, which is I appreciate, and they had like super good knowledge. You know what I mean?
And when you were there, was Aljo there at all? Like Aljamain Sterling?
So he was like at the tail end of his camp. And he was doing that back at Longo or where he does.
Yeah, Longo Sarah,
New York. Eric had FaceTime him once, I think, while we were training. He might have been still in Vegas, or
I would just think it would have been cool in the set of like having you, the Bellator champion and the UFC champion in the same gym, the cross train at the same time, you know. So
we also said we need to not like I haven't talked to Aljo directly, but I think like Eric and Adrian mentioned going either coming to Vegas or going to is it New York? I think it's New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah, Long Island.
Yeah, New York. Mentioned New York and training with Aljo, which I'm okay with. I don't really care.
Yeah. So back to your tournament that's coming up. You're obviously a part of the Bellator Grand Prix right now. To the semifinals over there, you got Sabatello and Lugo. Any thoughts on that fight? Any kind of prediction or who you would want to fight or desire to fight?
Yeah, you know, I feel like Higo would be a tougher fight. I went back and like watched the fight. I feel like Higo would be a tougher fight, but Sabatello would be like funner to talk shit to. So selfishly, I want to talk shit to Sabatello and see what he got to say. As far as like the fight, you know, I feel like Sabatello is kind of one dimensional, and I mean that's a hard way to win, you know, or you got to be really good at wrestling. And I don't feel like he's that good to like only wrestle with me. So, but you know, more power to him if he feels like, you know, he can. as far as Higo, I feel like I'm better than Higo in a lot of places. But he's well rounded and he hits hard. So that'd be like a kind of a dangerous or more dangerous fight, I feel like, or just because like, he's going to be doing different things. I feel like he's going to mix it up. So yeah, but I want to fight Higo though. Like eventually, I feel like I want to fight Sabatello now, but I want to fight Higo eventually. So
yeah.
I want to fight every single one of the people in the tournament, but hopefully I don't know. Hopefully I do or get the fight, maybe after the tournament or something. But yeah. So yeah, it's just like but and this is why the tournament is like super cool to me, because it's like it's so many possibilities of being able to fight,
exactly.
and they're like right there, as opposed to like when you're outside of the tournament, you kind of go by ranking, kind of go by like people trying to like get to a title and stuff, where I guess now people would try to get to me, but I was trying to like having to chase people down so much, outside of this tournament, but now it's like they coming right to me. I get my hands on some people.
That's what you get paid to do,
Yeah.
It's funny though. Like, I get what you're saying though, because like I got some behind the scenes footage with Danny Sabatello on his last fight, and then he was like talking mad shit to his opponent, and it was like that was like fun, So I imagine if you guys are fighting in the finals of the tournament, he's gonna be talking shit, like that's what he loves to do, Like he was trying to break. He was already talking shit to Lugo in his post-fight interview, talking shit to everyone else, like.
Yeah, so. He loved to talk shit, and
he's a good energy, He's a good energy.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good. I like it, like in a kind of
punch you in the face kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could get behind, punch you in the face, like talk some more shit, so I could like want to hurt you a little bit, But yeah, I think he's good. He's a good fighter. And yeah, the talking is awesome. To me, it's fun to me, I mean, because I don't feel like nobody's like got beef, ain't nobody like threatening my child's lives or threatening people's lives, it's a job, but I feel like I like getting under people's. I feel like I really got under Juan's skin. Juan did not
calling you a bully, bro. A bully.
Yeah, he called me a bully. And it's like, bro, we fighting. We literally fight. That is our job to fight. So
I literally talked to you so many times, like even just through DM or whatever. And I was like, a bully is like the last vibe I get from you, So it was like when he kept calling you a bully, I was like, man, this man is just nice and like a good guy, a good dad, a good parent,
Which I guess in like my like the way I fight or whatever is gonna be different than how I operate in daily, in the daily. But it's not like I'm not trying to bully. And that was the other thing. Like I don't like fighting people that don't kind of want to fight me, or you know what I mean, or just are gonna like cower. Like
did it surprise you that he would just kind of wrestled you and try to held you and didn't do nothing else? Like, did that surprise you?
I mean, no, that was super surprised. I didn't expect him to try to.
I was like, what?
I mean, his but it's true though. His last couple fights, he's been kind of stand up. He's been doing a lot of stand up, and he's been kind of in and out. So I expected him to kind of do the same thing, just maybe stay a little tighter with his striking. But he said he went back. I mean, watching in the retrospect, he said he wanted to go back to his roots, which was wrestling. But yeah, I didn't expect him. And even still, like when he wrestled, like he used to like wrestle and then get position and then try to do damage. But I feel like he was literally just trying to. I don't know if he was trying to like cook me or trying to like make me tired by just grappling. But it was just, it wasn't like he was like advancing, or maybe he couldn't advance position, so he was just like trying to hold me in positions. With I mean, it won him rounds, I feel like.
But it was a weird game plan though. I don't know, it was a weird game plan.
It was a weird game plan against me, I feel like,
especially in a title fight, because I don't think you could do that to you for 5 straight rounds.
For 25
minutes now, like
that's a lot. You gonna hold me down. And then it was like so he got me down in the first round, and then I was able to get back up, and then he didn't get me down, or then I took him down in the end of the round, And then he didn't get me down at all. After that, he was able to hold position, but it's like that's a lot of work to hold me. You know what I mean? I'm resting pretty much on the back of the cage, and you got to be pressing up against me, and then you can't make any mistakes. Like as I'm adjusting, that's a hard game to do against me. You know, I don't
sure.
I mean, you're not gonna hold me down if I decide that I'm gonna get up. So, yeah.
Did that other quarterfinal surprise you though, with like Patchy Mix like beating
That
you?
one? Yeah, hell
like,
hell yeah. That surprised me. I didn't expect Patchy to win that. I didn't. And kudos to Patchy, because Patchy
I thought he had a chance to like make problems because his range. He was so much bigger than him. You know, he's tall. He's a lanky bantamweight. You know,
yeah.
so
Which I didn't take that in consideration, that he was so tall. And,
but he made it look easy though. He made it look easy though. It was weird. Like, he made it look easy. Like
he did.
He took a beating though. Like he was limping out of that cage. He was limping hard, but he made it look easy though in that whole process. So
no, I got to tip my hat to Patchy Mix, because that was a hell of a job, man. It was a hell of a fight, and he did amazing.
That's got to be exciting for you to be able to know that you're fighting him next. You know, so it's like
as
a champ, you want to test yourself against the best, and I feel like that's the next challenger right there. You beat Horiguchi, who's a legend. Like
he's got to make it past Magomed or Barzola, but I mean the way he fought freaking Horiguchi, I wouldn't doubt him. I mean, I can see him winning. You know, I don't see
Do they have any date on when you guys are gonna fight your semifinal at all for you, or no?
They said, the last I heard, maybe September, October.
Makes sense, because like that June is when Barzola and Magomedov are fighting, and
yep.
So
and I think
July probably, or for Patchy, I guess probably.
No. So Patchy's in the semifinals, so I'm guessing he gonna fight in September when I fight.
Okay, yeah.
So right now, Sabatello and Higo are fighting, and I think they're fighting in June. And then on the other side, Barzola and Magomed are fighting in June. So both of those guys are fighting in June, and then me and Patchy are fighting the winners of those guys, I believe September, October.
I forgot they've had that little, like, that fight-in fight or whatever. It was like the play into the fight.
Oh yeah. They had the what's that called? The round, or what was it?
A qualifier or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. But
So just getting back to you then, like, how did you get into MMA? When did you start training?
Yeah, so I started training after I wrestled. I won nationals in wrestling twice. And then Jens Pover was starting a gym in the place where I was like assistant coaching / like grad assistant coaching at the college that I was at. And he had told me, pretty much, he had asked if I could kind of help and do wrestling, teach the guys wrestling for MMA. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just teach them wrestling. I don't know anything about MMA, but I'll teach them wrestling. And then he eventually like got me to do some like jujitsu classes, and then got me to do some boxing classes, and then was like, hey man, you might as well fight. You already, you know what I'm saying? You learn, a lot, you might as well fight. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I might as well. So he got me to do some fights, and I had a fight, and I loved it. It was I won like my first amateur fight. I had it was like a dude was like 6'1" or something, and I got him in like a standing anaconda or whatever. So his legs was like dangling in the air or whatever. And then I had like let him go. He tapped or whatever, and I let him go, and then he just like fell to the mat and was like unconscious. And I was like, I'm the greatest. I just thought I was like the coldest dude alive, pretty much, and it was like my first amateur fight, obviously, so I didn't know, much things, but from that moment, I was like, man, this is like I'm about this, this is I loved it. So that's what got me in MMA.
That's a genuine feeling and a genuine emotion, just like having that feel when you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Not many people could feel that unless you step inside a cage, so like,
hell yeah. Not knowing that it's like, or not realizing it's like people that'll fuck me up. At that time, I was like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm the coldest motherfucker alive. I just killed the motherfucker. Like I'm cold, so it was, it got me hooked, man. That feeling got me hooked.
And did you have a favorite fighter growing up while you were watching that?
Yeah, so Demetrius Johnson kind of has always been my like just like a fighter I looked up to, just the way he carries himself, and then also his fighting, there's no holes in his game, he's just super well rounded, and he's like a student of every discipline. So yeah, that's the guy I kind of looked up to.
I think Mighty Mouse is like one of the most underrated champions ever. Like what
Or
he did,
yeah,
what he did in the flyweight division, the UFC for like 2-3 years, whatever it was.
yeah,
Like, he didn't get
yeah,
the
where it
props he
was almost like
deserved.
I mean, people expected him, you know what I mean, to win just because he's, Mighty Mouse, and he had like 11 consecutive, like the most title defenses.
Yeah.
Um,
And even when
yeah,
even when he was at 135 before he went down, before they created a division, he fought the best of the best at 135 and competed
yeah,
against all those guys. He had good battle with Dominic Cruz when Cruz was
yeah,
considered the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he went at it with everyone. Benavidez, when Benavidez was 135, like he was fighting the best of the best before he popped down there. And it's like people
hell
forget.
yeah.
That's why I think he was one of the pound for pound best, just because he did it
He
at
had
2 weight
fought,
classes.
yeah,
Like,
straight up. Yeah, no, I mean, he's forever like one of my, I just, yeah, I admire that, he didn't have like, it's nothing. When people look at him, it's not like, oh, okay, this is how you beat Mighty Mouse. There's
yeah.
nothing there. I don't feel like there's holes in his game. He did get knocked out this last time not the time before last and won, but it
And one
was like,
FC,
yeah,
that was against yeah, but the funny thing is, like, even the ONE FC talking about that, though, like he just fought Rod Tang in like a dual fight,
yeah,
kickboxing
which
MMA.
that
Like,
was dope.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
saying
was
Rod
sick.
Tang's a savage. You know what I mean?
That
Like
was
he's
sick, man.
oh, it's
Yeah,
so
and he was freaking banging with him. He was like, he didn't like run for the Muay Thai round.
yeah,
He did Muay
yeah,
Thai with him.
and that
He's a beast, man.
and that man's kicks hard. Thai fighters, they just throw with power. Like,
Just throw, bro. They just like with reckless abandonment for their legs. Like they just got like steel rods in their
I can't even
shins or
imagine
whatever.
though, bro. Like coming from just someone who's trained us, like I can't even imagine just throwing those kicks with no care for
Yeah,
the
I
world.
feel like that Muay Thai is like a hard sport, because it's just like, yeah, but kickboxing too. Like it's just like you just beating on each other. Like even when you win in Muay Thai, it looks like it's like your body is beat up. You know what I mean?
Even I know, like in that Chandler Ferguson fight, obviously you watched that knockout there when Chandler knocked out
Yeah.
Ferguson. Ferguson said that he checked a bunch of Chandler's kicks, and that's why that he feels like Chandler threw that front kick because he felt like he checked 3 or 4 hard leg kicks, so he's like he just threw that up because he was
Didn't want to
hurt.
kick any
He didn't
round
want to
kicks
kick anymore.
anymore.
He
I
didn't want to kick
believe it.
anymore, and so it's
Yeah, I
like,
believe it.
and
I
so
believe
it's
it, man. I've yeah, my shin, I feel like has callous kind of up now, but like it's a couple of fights, where I'm like I can't walk after
yeah.
just from like checking kicks or kicking, it's
Do you,
brutal
do you
stuff.
do you incorporate like leg conditioning training into your regimen and stuff?
Yeah,
Or
I when I was at Rufus Sport, we did it a lot, not necessarily like where you beat your legs or do anything. We just kicked the bag a lot, and they had like really heavy bags. So they would like pack the bags down with kind of shredded shirts and stuff, and they'd be like really hard, especially like at the bottom. And we just condition our legs with those. But yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna tap it just a couple of mental questions before I let you go
Yeah.
here. Two, 3 questions.
Yeah,
So
no problem, man.
now that you're champion, and what advice do you have for anyone else out there in the world who's chasing their goals, who want to dreaming of whatever they want to do? What advice do you got for people now that you've accomplished it? I know you have so many more goals, but now that you've accomplished this first step, what advice do you got to anyone out there?
Man, just consistency. The biggest thing for me is just consistently, or consistency. Have a goal in mind, and then consistently take a step in the direction of your goals. It doesn't have to be like a Gatorade commercial or like you taking 10 steps a day, but consistently every day, take a step toward your goal. Even if it's small, be consistent.
I think that's so important too. Like you said, just consistent is kind of everything, because if you,
Yeah.
if you have to put that into your repertoire, then you can only get better, right? So
Yep, exactly. And that's why, for me in martial arts or whatever, it's like I feel like I was able to like pass a lot of people because I started like kind of late, but I was able to like progress quickly because I thought of it as like a lifestyle. Like this is my life. It's not like oh something I'm doing right now, or like I got like seasons where I'm doing it. It's like this is a part of my life. Like training, getting better at martial arts is just this is my life, you know. So I'm doing something with it every day, you know. And like I said, every day isn't like me like killing everything, but whether it's like mentally or like I'm drilling or you know I'm doing something to better myself. Um,
So
but
even
yeah,
to tap into that, what you just said there, like fighting's obviously a very physical sport. Would you say that the mental side's equal or more important?
yeah. For me, I just recently, I feel like the last 2 years, about 2 years, yeah, I've been tapping into the mental side of since
Yeah,
COVID, pretty much. Because I couldn't train kind of as much. We were kind of like stuck at the home or house for a little bit. So I was doing like stuff in my basement and then also like started reading more. And I feel like the mental like affirmations,
yeah, yeah,
telling myself good things or learning things on my own, I feel like has really changed my game. You know, I got more conviction in the things that I do because I believe the things that I say
for
and
sure.
the things I'm going to do. I believe in my greatness. I believe in, you know, that I deserve good things and I deserve, you know, to be champion because of the work I put in. And I feel like that has kind of took my game to the next level. You know, because it's hard to like kind of go full force at a goal if you don't believe kind of in yourself or believe in you know what you've done. So like yeah, as far as like that, like believing in myself, I don't doubt myself anymore, you know. I don't believe I'm less than at all, you know. So
For sure.
and that's like a deliberate thing I do, kind of like in my head, like I say like I'm confident and fearless in all that I do. I dominate, excite, and finish fights. I say that to myself probably you know like 20 times a day, especially when I'm in camp.
Yeah, yeah,
I say it when you know things are hard. I say it when things are when I'm doing good, or you know while I'm running, or you know I say it a lot, you know, and I believe it. So
I,
yeah.
I, I think that's so important. That's why I love to talk to like fighters and athletes, talking about that mental side, because just kind of like just for me as like a journalist to be able to calculate and see which athletes are actually like tapping into that mental side hard. And for me, you're the first champion I think that I've actually interviewed. I've done 150 interviews, the first actual champion. So it's like it's wonderful to watch because I believe in the mind is so powerful, the most powerful thing in the world.
Yeah.
And seeing someone like you, who I'm actually a big fan of, and watching your journey, it's like to understand that you actually tap into that mental side and then
Yeah.
understand the power of it. It's like I said, when to watch that pure shock in your face, like when like Brian's video, like with Sucker Punch, when you were in the cage and you like when they put that belt around your waist and you were in that actual shock because you've obviously manifested that and visualized that a million times. But when it happened, you were actually in shock and you couldn't believe it. Like, hey, I'm a world champion. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a world champion.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so surreal because yeah, you like I put it out into the universe. I freaking say it all the time, you know, I envision it. But yeah, when it happens, it's like yeah, it's surreal because you're like, man, I deserve this, but man, it's here. Like it happened, it really happened, but it's like, yeah, it should happen, you know. So it was just yeah, it's super surreal. You know, actually the manifestation too, I got from Sergio.
okay.
Sergio Pettis freaking he said that he did something like that, or he was saying something like that. I think it started with confident and fearless actually. And I kind of stole that from him like when I first started doing it. So and Sergio reads a lot too. So
That's good.
yeah.
So last question here, and then thank you for everything already. So after all the
Yeah.
blood, sweat, and tears, what do you want to be remembered for?
Man, I want to be remembered as someone who would attacks his goals kind of head on, you know, and he took the hard, you know, it's hard, long road, but you know, I never strayed from my goals, and you know, I was consistent, and I you know, took a step toward my goals every day. I just want to be yeah, I remember that somebody who like took the long hard road, but did it like did it the right way, did it the hard way, and was successful because of it.
And then that's a beautiful answer. And then everything you said, you already put that energy into the universe. So it's another manifestation. And coming back to like what you said earlier, consistency, that's like been a key word for you in this podcast right now, just being consistent and putting that energy out there. If you put good into the world, good's going to come back to you. It's as simple as that. I truly believe that. So, and from watching you, being a fan of yours, watching everything you've done the last couple of years, you've been consistent and you've been putting that hard work in too. So that's a fun part with watching you and getting those affirmations now with the belt around your waist. It's like, that's a feeling that only you know, bro. So it's like, and that's just the beginning, that's the fun part, is just the beginning, it's, you got so many more goals, so much more things to accomplish. And thank you so much again for your time, man. I truly appreciate it, Raufeon. If you have anything to say to any family, friends before you go, if not, thanks again, man.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate everybody for watching, everybody for the support. I'm keep going, man. Keep going as much as I can. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna win this $1 million. I'll be the Bantamweight Grand Prix champion, and then we'll see what's next, man.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And thank you again for your time. And I have only big goals for myself. So it's like, I know me and you, we're going to be talking for a long time, brother. So,
hell yeah.
So let's go. Let's go.
Bro.
Chee-hoo.
Chee-hoo. Let's go.
Thanks again, Doug. And I appreciate your time. We'll be talking soon, bro.
Yes, sir.